I'm one of the lucky ones.
In 2018, a 15-year-old girl sat alone outside the Swedish parliament with a handmade sign, "School Strike for Climate." That girl was Greta Thunberg, and her actions sparked a global movement. From climate strikes to a controversial humanitarian mission in Gaza's waters, Greta has become the world's most polarizing activist.
When do we want it? Now!
Let's dive into her journey through 10 of her most impactful moments. It all began in August 2018 in Stockholm. At 15, Greta started skipping school to protest for stronger climate policies. By November, she was on the TEDx Stockholm stage, sharing her story.
I remember thinking that it was very strange that humans, who are an animal species among others, could be capable of changing the Earth's climate. Because if we were, and if it was really happening, we wouldn't be talking about anything else.
Personal story, including her Asperger's diagnosis, gave her authenticity. This speech went viral, inspiring student strikes worldwide and launching Fridays for Future. In December 2018, Greta took her message to the UN Climate Change Conference in Poland. She did not hold back.
You are not mature enough to tell it like it is. Even that burden you leave to us children.
Her blunt words put pressure on global leaders and made headlines, cementing her as a bold youth voice. In January 2019, after a 32-hour train journey, Greta spoke at Davos, urging leaders to act like the planet was on fire.
I don't want you to be hopeful. I want you to panic. I want you to feel the fear I feel every day. And then I want you to act. I want you to act as if you would in a crisis. I want you to act as if the house was on fire. Because it is.
Her phrase, "Our house is on fire," became a rallying cry, sparking debates among the world's elite. In early 2019, Greta spoke to EU officials in Brussels and Strasbourg, demanding an 80% emissions cut by 2030 and calling out their focus on Brexit over climate.
Around the year 2030, 10 years, 259 days and 10 hours away from now, we will be in a position where we set off an irreversible chain reaction that will most likely lead to the end of our civilization as we know it. That is, unless in that time permanent and unprecedented changes in all aspects of society have taken place, including a reduction of our CO2 emissions by at least 50%.
Her speeches helped the European Green Deal and the EU's 2019 Climate Emergency Declaration. In April 2019, Greta addressed UK Parliament with biting sarcasm.
Is the microphone really on?
Just be quiet.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Is my English okay?
Yes.
Because I'm beginning to wonder.
Days later, the UK declared a climate emergency, the first country to do so. In May 2019, Greta warned of an irreversible climate crisis by 2030 at a conference with global leaders.
This is the biggest crisis humanity has ever faced. This is not something you can like on Facebook. When I first heard about the climate and ecological breakdown, I actually didn't believe that this could be happening. Because how could it be? How could we be facing an existential crisis that would threaten our very survival, and yet that wasn't our first priority? If there really was a crisis this big, then we would rarely talk about anything else. The longer we wait, the harder it will be to turn this around. So let's not wait any longer. Let's start acting.
Her science-backed message reached high-level decision makers, amplifying her influence. In July 2019, Greta accepted the Normandy Freedom Prize, linking World War II sacrifices to today's climate fight.
I think the least we can do to honor them is to stop destroying that same world that Charles, Leon and their friends and colleagues fought so hard to save for us.
This speech connected generations, showing climate action as a universal duty. In September 2019, after sailing to New York on a zero-emissions yacht, Greta delivered her unforgettable "How Dare You" speech at the UN Climate Action Summit.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
The speech went viral, inspiring millions but also sparking criticism from skeptics, including a tweet from then-President Donald Trump. At COP25 in Madrid, Greta declared that hope lies with activists, not politicians.
Well, I'm telling you, there is hope. I have seen it. But it does not come from the governments or corporations. It comes from the people. The people who have been unaware but are now starting to wake up.
Her words fueled the Fridays for Future movement into 2020. In June 2025, Greta joined a freedom flotilla to deliver aid to Gaza, only to be intercepted by Israeli forces. Speaking after her deportation, she accused Israel of quote-unquote kidnapping and systematic starvation.
In international waters, we were illegally attacked and kidnapped by Israel and taken against our will to Israel, where we were detained. And then some of us deported, some are still there. There are very big uncertainties because it was quite chaotic and uncertain, so I don't really know what's going on.
The incident sparked global debate, with some praising her courage and others calling it a publicity stunt. It marked a new chapter in her activism, extending beyond climate to humanitarian causes. From a lone protest in Stockholm to the international waters near Gaza, Greta Thunberg's voice has inspired millions and sparked controversy. Love her or criticize her, one thing is clear: at just 22, she has reshaped global conversations on climate and justice. Where will her activism take her next?